I'm not doing another video. I'm totally doing one. That's 3. I'm like this much self-conscious about the fact I'm doing 3 videos because I can't manage to actually answer questions in a timely fashion. But I'm like, I want to get like a bunch done tonight, and then I promise I won't do like any for a week. I don't promise that, but I'm gonna try it just because, like, don't judge me. I won't do this many after today, I swear. I promise. Okay. But I just, like, I want to get them done. So I'm going to try to do a few more. And I'm sorry. This is overkill, but alas. Okay, so back to business. Back to tea time with Claire. Okay. Anonymous said, why did Harry ignore Louis at some parts and YMB just out of the blue? Like, was it something happening without him really wanting it, or did he do it for a reason? Thank you for your answer in advance. Love you, darling, and keep writing lovely fics. You really are quite a talent, Claire. Thank you. Love you, too. Well, the reason that Harry was... why he ignored him was just because it wasn't totally purposeful. Like, I mean, it was purposeful, but he wasn't completely, like, aware of why he was doing it. It's just more like it was a fear that kicked in, and he let it dictate his actions. That's what happened. He just woke up unsettled by Louis because they'd made advancements in their relationship. Like, basically, every time Louis made or wedged his way further into Harry's love, life, his thoughts, emotions, his very soul, every time, like, Louis kind of, like, made a breakthrough with Harry, it would terrify Harry, and he'd usually pull back, and I think it happened about 3 times in the fic. And so he would ignore Louis or shut him out a little bit when that would happen, just because it's his instinct, and it would make him, you know, Louis would make him uncomfortable, because he was knowing him so well, and while it was a pleasant feeling, it was also new and terrifying, so he just was like, well, I don't like it, so I'm going to ignore him, without any thoughts of the consequences, or how that would affect Louis, or even how that would affect Harry in the long term. So, like, that's why he would do it. It would just be like, you know, it was an emotional problem that he just couldn't escape from himself. So, poor Louis. Anonymous said, how long did Zane's crush on Harry last? Young and Beautiful. These are all Young and Beautiful again. You guys. I like talking about it, though, so keep them coming. It's easier to talk about Young and Beautiful than it is to type about it. I'm always like, I don't know. It's easier to communicate via words, though. Anyways. So Anonymous said, how long did Zane's crush on Harry last in Young and Beautiful? Did it really go away when Liam came, or did he still have a thing for Harry after the whole thing with Harry laughing about it and stuff? That really interests me. That really interests me, too. I'm dancing because I'm like, you know, I used to have this whole thing mapped out. I actually thought about this, like, because YMB was my first fic, so I, like, had everything fucking covered. I was ready for any questions, but over time I've kind of forgotten. So I think I recall that Zane did carry a torch for Harry for quite a while. But obviously now that he has Liam, he's completely in love with Liam and only wants him. But I think there are still still wounds, because he really was quite in love with Harry. Young love is one of those things that affects you forever. It will always be with you, and Harry will always be with Zane. He would never be with him now, but he will always carry a soft spot for him, and I think it did not just go right away when Liam came. It was there, nestled in the back of his mind, until it just became a distant memory, because his heart grew for Liam, and there was no room for Harry anymore. But, like, absolutely, Zane... Even to this day, I think Zane would look at Harry with a soft fondness and have this almost wistful feeling towards him. So, Anonymous said, hi, love. Young and Beautiful and Harry put different pieces of paper with quotes in other people's pockets. Yeah, I think that was Halloween night. The one quote to Louis said, you will always be fond of me. I represent it to you, the sins you never had the courage to commit. I think it is basically that. I think that might even be it word for word. What exactly did he mean by that, and why did you put it purposely in Louis' pocket? Hope you answer this, because I'm craving to know this, since I'm basically addicted to the fanfic. Lots of love. I'm sorry I answered this probably very late. I don't know when you sent this, but hopefully it was like yesterday. Excuse me. But okay, once again, I had this answer to a T a while ago, and now I'm kind of going to have to take a moment to try to remember. But I believe it was because, okay, yeah. So what it was Harry was beginning to grow fond of Louis in his own way. He was enjoying the fact that Louis was sort of sticking around, and he had the soft spot for Louis because he was so singularly unique and stood out to him, that he was also weary of it because he wasn't used to people liking him or caring about him or what have you. So the fact that Louis was so genuinely interested in him like made him suspicious. And so he sort of took it as like this bitter sort of viewpoint of, you just are fascinated by me, you think I'm interesting because I am what you wish you could be, almost. Like what the quote basically says, like, you're fond of me because I represent the things you would never have the courage to do for yourself. You're watching a train wreck and you're finding entertainment out of the chaos of my pathetic life, you know. It's kind of how he took it, because he just didn't know how else to interpret it. So this is a really long Harry's comment. If you're watching this, I have to answer you still. Anonymous said, "Hi, how did you discover 1D and Larry?" Let's do this. I don't know. Do I have enough time? I'm always checking the time. Good 6 minutes. I do have enough time. Okay, so how did I discover One Direction and Larry? Well, I had my Downton Abbey blog, and I started following some people who liked One Direction as well. I noticed Harry on my dash, and I thought he was gorgeous. I started off being full on in love with Harry, and I was like, oh, how old is he? Ooh, this could be weird. But I pursued it anyways. And then okay, this is kind of weird, because after I thought he was just gorgeous, I went on YouTube and typed in an interview because I was curious to know what his voice sounded like, of all things. I want to hear him talk. And I watched the Chatty Man interviews, all 3 of them, because they were in this one video. So I watched each time they were on, and I progressively grew more entertained. I liked them all, and I thought to myself, because I hated pop music, pop culture in general, totally anti that. I thought I was so cool, rock girl, and unique, and all this bullshit. So I was all like, okay, I don't like their music, I don't like what they stand for, I don't like any of that, but I have to admit that they're 5 really decent kids. Like, they're charming, they seem like good people. Alright, fair enough. I enjoyed the interview. I watched it again for fun. Really was attached to Zayn, too, because I remember seeing Zayn way back when on SNL and thought, that is a face right there. But then Harry was the one I was like, oh, he is just a charmer, he's so cute. And so I started watching other interviews, and then all of a sudden, one of the interviews that I can't find it to this day, I noticed that Harry, because I was watching Harry intently, I noticed he kept looking over to these 2 guys, and he looked very jealous. And what it was Louis behind Liam. They were all sitting down, but Louis was standing behind Liam and playing with him and teasing him and you know how he giggles. So cute. I need a little no, it wasn't a cardigan, it was a sweater, a cable knit sweater, I believe. I just was like, oh, okay, why does he look jealous of them? And then I was kind of like, what's going on? And I think I went on Tumblr and looked the tags up for Harry Styles, and I noticed all these pictures and shit of him and Louis, and I was like, why are the fans what? Because I didn't know it was real. I didn't know that those pictures were real and the tweets were real. So I was trying to distinguish what was real and what wasn't. Next thing I knew, I was just kind of like, what's going on here? And I saw everywhere it was Larry Stylinson, but it was the beginning of 2013, so it was kind of during a very tense, dramatic time where it was either you love them or you fucking hate them. The wounds were very fresh from Haler. So I was like, okay, well, what's going on in this world? It's a little crazy. But then I stumbled upon the Larry Bible. Okay, I only have a couple seconds left. But holy shit, I'm not a crier, like I said. I'm not a sensitive person, but when I watched that fucked me up. That fucked me up. The first, couple seconds, the 10 seconds, it was all cheesy music and, picture montages, and I was like, what is this? This is so stupid and cheesy. These guys are nerds. And then I was 2 minutes in, I'm like, oh my god, save them! I was close to tears. And then I've been hooked ever since. So it's 10:51 p.m. I've done a half an hour of videos. I'm sorry, but thank you, and I love you.